Good morning, great Biafrans, lovers of freedom, my wonderful returning subscribers, and those who are watching without subscriptions. You guys are awesomely awesome. May the Lord be with you all. Amen. I can only ask you to go ahead, smack the red button, create the notification bell, so whenever we upload, you'll be able to get notified. On this very particular video, you are going to see the danger of being an African person in the midst of those who did not fought in a revolution, who don't know the value of life, and why the Western world will never add value to you until you pay the price. Let me tell you, you can only command respect. Respect can never come to you.
That is what
I want
it is.
you to listen to this.
I am not the only one saying it. People are waking up. I'm going to play a video. If the Western world, or all these white men coming to Africa, if they are genuine, they shouldn't be sleeping. They should be worried. Why are we taking crude oil and selling back to them? If they care about Africa, like they claim, they should be worried. Why should we be taking crude oil from these people and again sell it back to them? Why don't we make sure we compel the leaders to build the refinery so that we will not be sending them money, aid, so that this aid of billions of dollars, we are not going to be sending the aids to these people again. But you know what? They are also corrupt and criminals. So it takes two criminals from the other side, from both sides, for things to work out. So when we are blaming these Nigeria people and blaming these criminal politicians, we have to also blame their collaborators from the Western world. That is why they can never talk about the killings in Biafra. But you know what? We will compel them to come out of their shell very soon. We will compel them to come out of their shell. And they're going to come out very soon. Now, I want you all to watch this.
Times of catastrophic crisis. There's no doubt about it, we're living in times of catastrophic crisis where the lives of innocent civilians are sacrificed in the wars of their masters. Yes, in Ukraine, but not only. Since the last plenary, tens of thousands of Afghani citizens have been forced to flee in search of food and safety. 5 million children face famine, an agonising and painful death, a 500% increase in child marriages and children being sold just so they can survive, and not a mention of it, not here, not anywhere. No wall-to-wall TV coverage, no emergency humanitarian response, no special plenaries, not even a mention in this plenary, no Afghani delegations, and no statements. My God, they must be wondering, what makes their humanitarian crisis so unimportant? Is it the colour of their skin? Is it that they're not white? They're not European? That their problems come from a US gun or a US invasion? Is it that the decision to rob their country's wealth was taken by a despotic US president rather than a Russian one? Because, my God, all wars are evil and all victims deserve support, and until we get on that page, we have no credibility whatsoever.
That's a point blank. I call it point blank. And you know what? As they are now rising up, the people with good conscience around Europe, around the world, as they are rising up, we will also be giving our voice. So, if you are so concerned of why nobody is talking about you, it's because they see you as coward. You have not done something that will make them to take you serious. Let me tell you, in these white man countries, there was bloody revolution. Bloody one. bloody revolution was shaping their life today. When they were fighting those wars, some of you were living on the trees in Africa. Some of you, they know the value of life. They have tested war. They have tested the revolution. And they don't want you to test it because it will open your eyes to understand the value of life. So as it is now, it is only the Europeans, the Western and Americans that understand the value of life because they fought wars and they survived. They understand the value of life. You don't know the value of life in Africa, especially those of you in Nigeria. That is why you can kill people anyhow. That is why the military who were trained to guide the territory for the territorial integrity of a nation will go to the village and start burning the villages. That was not why military are trained in any country. It is not to kill innocent and vulnerable women. So, for us to know the value of life, the politicians should have a test of it. Let me tell you, what I am telling you this evening is nothing but the truth. In Africa, you did not fight World War, did you? You didn't fight World War in Africa. You didn't. You did not fight World War. There were no bloody revolution in Africa, except in few countries. And when they call it bloody, they target genocide. Let me tell you, it was because of the experience of World War. It was because of the experience of war that made the entire world, this world power, these white men, to have what you called the United Nations. UN. UN was founded in 1940s after the World War, so that in order to maintain peace and stability all over the world. But you know what? Africa joined UN. In fact, Africa have now the biggest representative in the UN, but they never participated in what gave birth to the United Nations. That is why United Nations has become one of the corrupt entities. Even when the aim of setting United Nations is to maintain global peace, today there is no peace in West Africa. And we know the reason why there is no peace in West Africa. There is no peace in Africa's most populous country called Nigeria. So have the UN lived up to the expectation or lived up to the reason why it was formed? The answer is no. Because the people that are parading themselves at the United Nations today do not know what gave birth to the United Nations. They do not know, but the white men know. The white men know what gave birth because they directly fought during the World War, and it was their idea to bring United Nations. Africa people were just like idiots. They have nothing to offer. The white men would design the policy for them, and they would just come and join. They say UN is paralyzed. Africans paralyzed it. They came to the United Nations with their corruption and bag of money to corrupt everybody that comes there. That is why in Nigeria, you have the Fulani woman appointed to the UN to represent the Fulani oligarch interest. But she knows nothing about why the United Nations was formed. The people that knows the reason for United Nations also formed what we call NATO. They formed NATO. As they formed NATO, they didn't want Africa to be part of that, because that is now for the protection of the world powers. The NATO was formed for the same purpose. If you attack one NATO nation, every other member will come and defend that nation, because they know the value of life, and they know the value, not just the value of life, but the value of freedom. Freedom that makes me to come here every blessed day to shout on top of my voice, that make me to lose sleep every day, preaching what the white man have done to themselves many decades ago. Our own, we have to fight for it, because they fought for themselves. They fought during their own 1940s with bombardment, shelling, military helicopters, gunboat, submarine. They fought World War. America even threw the bomb in Japan that has made history, called the Hiroshima. Or in Hiroshima, they threw the nuclear bomb in Hiroshima. That is the war, the history of the war in this, the bomb in Hiroshima and Kazakaki. Kazaki or Kazagasi, they call it. America threw bomb there. And after that, history was made. They become so conscious of the freedom they have gotten. So they protect their freedom by bringing new mechanisms, setting up new entities to prevent anything attacking their freedom. But you, Black Africa, you have never done anything. You have not done anything on your own. Now we have traveled all the way from Africa to different parts of the world, and we contribute the little we can. We do what we can do in the society where we find ourselves positively, also affecting the life of others, mentoring people, giving people hope by what we do, participating in brainstorming to better the society we live in. And when we say it is time to take those things we've learned back to also better our own country, so that we are not going to be depending on your aid. They pretend they don't hear us. Some of them are watching me now. They pretend they don't hear us. They take our oil, they take our natural resources, they develop their own country.
Thank you for watching. If the video interests you, please share.